Hello everybody, Drew here, tip of the Mitt Flips, where I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and every 100 subscribers there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure to subscribe so you have a chance to win. Hello everybody, Future Drew here, and we have reached 1,400 subscribers. You know what that means? There is a subscriber giveaway. And 2 giveaways ago, viewer paid it forward to the next one, and on the last giveaway, the person did not claim it. I will not chase you down. But do you know what that does mean? Is that this giveaway will be for $30 instead of $10. But to get entered, very simple. Like the video, be subscribed, leave any comment in the comments. Good luck to everybody. I've got 12 orders going out today with a couple possibly pending. One, I don't think they're paying for it. The other, just sold, so it might pop up while I'm filming. And not a ton of sales. A couple of, a lot of mid-dollar ones, so it's okay. But things did cool off a little bit because I was just very happy about how it was going for about the last 2 weeks. It did cool off a little bit. Still better than it had been before fourth quarter. But I was really hoping things would just... I thought that train was just going to run till Christmas. So there's nothing... It's not above and beyond. I guess I'll put it that way. First thing going out, D5 is a Nintendo Wii with all the hookups, I think. Maybe it doesn't have the sensor bar with it. That's a possibility. This one had some issues. It works fine, but it's missing this side section and whatever functions that has, I have no idea. I think it's where you'd plug in your GameCube, your old school GameCube controllers. But as you can see, it's not there. So I sold it with issues. I didn't sell for parts repair because it is fully functional, but I made sure the very first word in the title is issue, read description, all that kind of stuff. People still don't. I don't know. I don't know what I never understand it when you say something like that, like issues, and then, it describe like what the problem is so that they don't get it and go, hey, it's missing this side panel. People will still not read it. Like, what are you thinking? It says issue. Wouldn't you want to look into that? I'm not saying with this buyer, but recently it happened a couple times. It just doesn't make sense. Like, you knew it said issues. It's the first word. You read it and then got the item and were upset that it had an issue that was in the title and in the description. Huh. So yes, just the RCA cable and the power cord. No sensor bar. And I do remember now, I was thinking about ordering one. I even sent out a few best offers. If I couldn't get one for, $8 free shipping, it wasn't worth throwing it in. It didn't add enough value, so I just left it out. Didn't bother. But for that, $39.99 plus shipping. I had it listed $44.99, so took an offer. Or sent out an offer. Most likely sent out an offer. Next up, B2 is Vintage Sock Saver Laundry B2, tucked back here. Sock Saver laundry thing. It's for hanging your socks, for your thick wool socks and what have you. That right there, vintage new old stock, $12 free shipping. I paid probably a quarter for that. It was much less than $1, so probably a quarter, 50 cents. And then the Wii, I got in a big lot. I don't remember how much I paid for the lot even. I think it was $100 for the whole lot. And it had 2 Wiis, ton of games. So that I'd already made all my money back on that a while ago. Next thing going out is a Star Trek for the Voyage Home Betamax. This I got at an estate sale just last week, 2 weeks ago. And this is a new and packaged Betamax. And I mentioned when I got it, because I worked at a video store, I know that you have to be careful with sealed VHS because sealed does not mean new. Because we had a device at the back end of the store where when we would go to sell old VHS, we would put them in plastic and seal them and shrink wrap them. It's just a shrink wrap machine. It had it was like a heat cutter. It was like a heated wire that would cut the plastic off, and then you'd hit it with a heat gun and shrink wrap it. Someone, I will put their comment in the video so they get credit for it, but they reached out and said that that is true, of course, but that this split seal right here, that you can't duplicate that with the device I'm talking about. Now, am I saying that guarantees this is new because it has a split seal? No, because there's some device that does this, and you could have one of those in your home. I have no idea. But it at least means that me or someone else did not, at a local video store, seal up a used VHS. So at least this gives me more confidence than zero that is new. I have no doubts that that's new. The guy was a Star Trek collector. He had everything was sealed. Everything was new. So I know that's already new, or at least I'm going to go with that it was new. But that's just good to know that at least it gives you a little more confidence. I would say even a lot more confidence if it has the split seal on the back instead of just sealed on both ends. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know that person on a personal level. They're at least a viewer of the channel, so I love that. But they sounded confident, and that makes sense to me because when I used to do that, there was no seam, so that makes sense. $26.99 free shipping. This will go medium mail. I paid $5 for it, so paid up, but who cares? Sold in 2 weeks, good to go. Next up is a plain wooden chess piece. I know that's one of 2 remaining, and I don't even know if this other one's still listed. I'll have to check, but that's definitely on the docket, is to get chess pieces listed again. I got a bunch of them. They're just sitting around. They weren't a priority because there was better stuff to list. I sold an entire chess set, except for 2 pieces, at around $8.99 free shipping. So you're talking $3-4 profit each if there's no cost of goods, which there was. So call it $3 profit each chess piece. That's great. And it took a year and a half for the whole set to sell. But the only reason they started slowing down, because I was selling one of these a week, no problem, is because I ran out of the other pieces. So I should definitely get back on that. $8.09 free shipping on that one. Next up, B3 is a vintage frame padlock. This one probably. And I'm assuming that says frame, F-R-A-I-M, frame. That sounds right. And that's the right one with the key, frame on the key, number 444. And for that lock and key, took an offer, $20 free shipping. Next up on B6 is vintage Sorel freestyle boots. These ones right here. And I'm already loving this new stepladder I got. But these are awesome. Just neon and 90s to the max. Even saying that is 90s to the max. $23.99 plus shipping. They're going to Alaska. I did have a conversation with the buyer, and she said, hey, I'd like to buy these. Can you help me out with the shipping? It's going to Alaska, you know, shove them in a flat rate box, whatever you can do. And I said, I'll find the cheapest way. I'll refund you some of the money, and I'll do the best I can, is what I said. But this is another one of those opportunities where because she said, I had these as a teenager or a kid or something, and I can't wait to have them again. I love them. I love like the neon, the brightness, all that. And so I took that opportunity to say, hey, by the way, since you like bright winter gear, you live in Alaska, I have an Arctic Cat snowsuit, bibs, coat, and a second coat, very bright, vibrant, purpley, pinkish, all that kind of stuff. Maybe check them out. If you end up liking them, bundling, shipping, all that helps. Did that make the sale? No. Did she actually go look? Yes. She went to the store, looked through. She said, I think she said the bibs weren't her size, and she was just going to pass on the coat anyways. Just wasn't feeling it. But it got her in my store. She went into my store. Did that result in more sales? No. But she was in my store browsing. I brought someone in from the street. I'm going to try to push that a little more, where I pick and choose spots where it seems like a good idea to reach out to the buyer and try to upsell, try to get them something else in the store. That's my plan, at least. $23.99 plus ship. And I will very much be able to save her some money on the shipping, because she paid $28.75. If I put them in a medium flat rate, I think a medium flat rate's $15-16. So even that would save her some money, but I could probably find a cheaper way through just UPS or FedEx. And then next up, it's a book, Gesenius Hebrew Lexicon, the Old Testament, which is this one here. This book surprised me because it's a paperback, Old Testament reference dictionary, numerically coded. And for that item, $35.99 free shipping that will go medium mail. It was listed, I think, $44.99. So any book, like I said before, above the $20-25 mark for me is awesome. And let's see where it's going, because that's fun for me. That would not have been my first guess. This going to Switzerland. Definitely would not have been my first guess. And by their name, I think they were not born in Switzerland. But either way, very cool sending that out through the eBay Global Shipping Program. This one, awesome. Very excited. C5 is a vintage Schwinn C12345 Stingray wrench. Right here, this big old mamma jamma 2-foot long wrench is a Schwinn N8263 USA. And for that item right there that I paid $2 for at the same estate sale, I got the Star Trek Betamax at $75 plus shipping. We went back and forth a couple times, and I really debated on taking that $75 because, and let me walk you through how I decided, because I think this might be helpful to people. How we listed it was the most one had sold for in the last 90 days by going to sold list was $50 plus ship. There was one currently listed $125 free shipping. So all I care about at this point is that there's two available. People do want to buy this item. I just want to be a little cheaper so that they buy mine instead of that person's. So we made ours $109.99 plus shipping. And then they sent me an offer, I think $50. I think I countered $99.99, somewhere in that range. But then when they came back with $75, I went then to Terapeak. And so then I went and looked at the last 365 days worth of sales. And in the last year, the most one of these had sold for was $70 plus ship, $70 free ship, one of those two. So I think it was $70 plus ship. Because then I went, okay, am I being greedy if I try to get beyond? I'm already going to be the most expensive one that's sold this entire year. So maybe the most somebody would be willing to pay for that ever. And then am I going to be greedy and try to get more on top of that? I paid $2 for it. It was good to go. But that's how I walked through to, because if I had went to Terapeak, the reverse of that, if I went to Terapeak and saw that 3 of those in the last year had sold $85, $90, $100, there's no way I would have taken that offer. I would have definitely countered again with $94.99 or maybe even $89.99. Even though it's not a ton more, that money would be inevitable in my mind. If this buyer didn't buy it, the next buyer might. But because so few of them sell, I was like, okay, 75 is good. And they left me a nice note. Thank you for the break. I'm working on old bikes. This will help. Thank you, Tim. You're welcome, Tim. And then speaking of Arctic Cat coats, in E2, which is over here, which I, of course, buried because I don't use this section very often, which now that I've had to go through this process once of digging this out, I won't do this again. I won't bury it with a bunch of other stuff. I mean, that green tote, yes. And here's E3. This is the first item coming out of here. It's got to be in one of these big bags, I think. All right, if I didn't have to dig the box out, it would have been pretty good. So that system's gonna work, I think, for how little clothes we sell. You, of course, can't see it because it's bagged up, but E2 Arctic Cat insulated coat did not sell to the person with the boots, but I'm thinking because the algorithm, it does work like this a little bit, no one knows for sure, that because someone was viewing that item gets pushed a little more to other people because it sold within a couple hours of me having the conversation with that other buyer. And this is the part that's neat. Note from buyer. Thank you. Beautiful coat. So excited to get it. I saw you live in Sheboygan, which I do. I live just a few miles south of you. We ride to Sheboygan often, talking about on the snowmobile. Maybe you'll see the jacket on the trails. So very cool. Just going a couple towns over. The shipping's $10, or else I would say, hey, you know, say you could save yourself money and do a local pickup. But the cost of gas, driving 2 towns to save $10, probably ain't worth it. But for that item, $51.99 plus shipping. There was a 10% sale running. Surprise, surprise. And then I sent out an offer. $51.99 is what I got. I had paid for the snow pants, that coat, and a second Arctic Cat coat. I think I paid $15 for all of them. It might have been $10 for all of them, but either way, great buy. Very excited about this too. Slap a label on that. Good to go. Next thing going out, B2A is a Texas Instruments. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's because I'm getting old or I just try to talk too fast, but I am just getting mush mouth lately. And it's this one right here. This was a bad buy. I bought this at Salvation Army like 2 years ago. I think it was when they still had items that were 99 cents and $1.99. So I either paid 50 cents or $1 on a half off day. But for $7.99 free shipping, that's a loss. But glad to have it go. No longer clogging up the store. I probably should have pulled that out. Next thing going out, I knew it would sell soon. The original Milwaukee Cheesehead on C4. And I am beyond happy to get this thing out of my house. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault that the Lions are doing so bad this year. Not like they do good any other year, but they looked good. They seemed like they were on the right track, but it's because I got this stinking Cheesehead in my home, tainting my home with this ridiculousness. But this is a vintage one, and this is the original, the real one from Foamation Inc., Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it says Cheesehead right there, the original. And you can tell this what it feels like is it feels like a memory foam mattress, where when it's not the real ones, they're like it's like almost hard. You can tell the difference. It has a good feel to it. The other ones, don't buy them. They won't sell. Or if they do, you'll have to sell them really cheap. Or if they do, you will get negative feedback or just a disgruntled buyer because you sent them a piece of junk. And the competition, if I'm remembering right, I think there's a lot of them. So you want to only get the original. The original Milwaukee, Wisconsin Cheesehead hat from Foamation, $26.99 plus shipping. It is a bummer. It's over a pound because that just would go in a poly bag if it was under a pound, of course. I got that at Salvation Army, so it would have been the $2.99 area, somewhere around there. Man, lots of notes from buyers today. Next thing going out, A2 is a United AC adapter, and it has like the 3-dimensional back. So, I think it's this one, AD800. Yep, that's the one right there. And their message was just, please get it out soon because I need it for an animatronic for a Halloween party. I assume they just mean like a Halloween decoration that moves a little bit, but in my mind, I went right to, the old Chuck E. Cheese or like the old Disney, where it's like the animatronic bears and stuff. I doubt this plug is powering a giant animatronic animal. That wouldn't make any sense, but that's the one. I should have looked a little closer. It's got a little yellow knobby on it, so it would have been super easy to find that way. Another very easy packing day. They're all starting to feel that way. It's really a weight off my shoulders to not have to feel rushed when I'm packing all the time, because I have to make sure I had the right box, or I have to, build a box, all that kind of stuff. I timed myself the other day. Had 22 orders to go out, I think it was. So I packed all of the easy stuff first, which was 18 of the items. I packed 18 items in 21 minutes. Easy peasy. The other ones I think took twice as long. The other 3 or 4 items took twice as long as the first 18 items, or 19 or whatever it was. It's just so much easier. Items that are unbreakable. Items that are easy to pack. I know I say it over and over and over again, but it's because for the longest time I was on the other side. I always said, oh, they're not willing to sell it. I will. I'll corner the market because I'm willing to do it. But it was silly. I could have been doing something else. Like this morning, I put some shelves in my daughter's closet because I had some extra time because I knew it wasn't going to take me 3 hours to pack up my orders. It's just life feels better now. I think maybe it's getting towards the holiday run, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I enjoy this time of year. I think maybe I'm just in a good mood. Who knows? So I was getting ready to pack up. I was just feeling a little off about, you know, how many sales there were and just the video. I don't know. Just to be transparent, I was feeling a little off about the video I just made, wherever I happen to splice this in to make sense. But this right here, this is a $300 sales day. I'm over here getting down on myself because it's an off sales day. Sales aren't, you know, crushing it like they had been the last 2 weeks. This is a $300 sales day. I'm losing my mind over here. Like, what am I talking about? This is a great sales day. I think maybe I'm just getting so used to selling low dollar items that when every item, you know, $40, $25, $40, $25, $50, $75, $25, when most items are that 25 plus, it kind of throws me off when there's only a few of them and it's still a great sales day. Well, that's gonna be all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other.